Fine. This is the wave. Okay. Height of the wave is known as what? My amplitude. This thing you know it very well. Length of the wave is what? From crest to this top. From here, crest to crest. Crest to another crest or top to another top is what my wavelength. Okay. Now, wavelength is always propagating in a sinusoidal wave rather than the cosine wave. Right? This thing also we have studied in my AC chapter. That always, rather it is a AC, whether it is a sound wave, whether it is a light wave, every wave is propagating in a sinusoidal wave. Okay, rather than the cosine wave, because cosine is this angle, so we can't flow the wave in a cosine wave. Clear? This thing is clear to you? Now the next part. Now these are the phases. Also, I have taught you what do you mean by the phase. Frequency, that how much is the wave is oscillating in 1 second. How much wave is oscillating in 1 second, that is my frequency. Okay, all these things we have already studied. Now, refraction of a plane wave. Before going through this, I just want to teach you one more thing, because this thing we have studied a little bit. Coherent and incoherent sources. See, coherent and incoherent sources means what? Coherent sources is, suppose the way that I taught you, that if my oscillation is on same phase, just like my, have you seen the laser beams of light? Huh? Laser beam is what? So small, but the light is going so far away, too much far away, right? Why? Because laser beams are also propagating in same phase. See, suppose if on the same lane there is one-way road, okay, all cars will travel very fast. But if the same lane, one-way road, has become two-way, then the speed of the car is also decreases. Correct? Similarly, suppose if this amplitude is 2, this is 2, this is 3. Okay? Now, these are all same source. So, it is known as what? Coherent source. Coherent source means that source by which same phase of wave will propagate. What I said? That source, suppose laser light, that source by which same phase of oscillation of waves propagates. That source is known as what? My coherent source. Okay. Now, if I add these three sources, what will be the height? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It means that 7 amplitude of the wave will become. Correct? Correct? That wave will propagate too long because it has a 7 amplitude. Now, by adding, what I said, source is known as coherent. But while adding all the coherent source, yani ki same phase of source, if I add all the same phase of source, that is my coherent source, after adding, the thing that I will get, that is known as that superposition. Superposition word you will see in your book. Superposition is nothing, just the addition of the wave. Addition. Superposition means what? Addition. After adding all the coherent sources, what I said? After adding all the coherent sources, yani ki same phase of waves, that is known as what? Constructive wave. Understood? What is constructive wave? those waves by which the waves are in same phase and from the source. Which source is there? Coherent source. From the coherent source, all the waves of same phase add up and become a higher amplitude of wave because of superposition. Okay, that time that wave is known as what? Constructive wave. Understood? No need to write, I'm giving you the notes. Okay, just understand the concepts, nothing else. Okay, that wave is known as what? Constructive wave. Okay, Srijit, tell me what is constructive wave?
Ma'am, that cohesive.
Is he saying or not? Say na bacha. Srijit.
Ma'am, you have said that
What I said? Say, baby.
the cohesive force of
In your own words, beta. I don't want the bookish language. In your own words, you tell what is coherent source.
if two waves of identical wavelength,
Very good.
they have amplitude which is equal.
But say that the amplitude should be equal. Amplitude will be the same, but the waves should be on the same phase. Waves should be of same phase of oscillation. Okay, from which the waves are oscillating in same phase is known as what? Coherent source. Okay, after adding all the waves that is of same phase, then the become, that is known as what? Constructive wavefront. Now the second point, incoherent. Incoherent source. Now just opposite of coherent. Here the wave will be what? It will be same phase or out of phase?
Out of phase.
Good. Suppose this is of 2 amplitude, this is of 3 amplitude. Now I have make one more. This is of suppose 2 amplitude. I added up. So this is what? Incoherent source. Okay. Suppose just like you have taken a yesterday, have you done the experiment? No. No. I knew. Dhanush, you have done the experiment? Thank you, Dhanushri, for giving me the such answer. That's all. Okay. Now, suppose in a bucket, okay, take place a bucket water filled with water. Take a 2 strips, maybe a spoon or whatever. Now, make a ripple from one wave, from one strip. Make a ripple from the other strip. First, you make a ripple from the one strip. Then that ripple will be what? Circular. That time, the source will be what? Coherent source. The waves will be what? Constructive wave. Because it is goes on increasing. Understood? Now, take the another spoon or another strip. Move it in the same phase. Okay? You will see that after a certain point, the waves cancels each other. And previously, the waves that goes up till here, it is going up till here. Because some of the wavefronts have cancelled each other because of the 2 wavefronts. Understood? The demo I am showing to you. Okay. So if suppose this is 2, that is 4. But this is what? -3. It means the output will be what? 1. It means up till here. Or maybe 0 also. If suppose this one is also what? 4. So it will be what? 0. It means the amplitude has decreased. It will be what? Straight line. So if it is a straight line, then we are saying it as a what? Destructive wave. or that the amplitude has also decreased. Destructive means what? Wave. Just like if you turn off your light, all wave fronts will be what? Cancels each other and become what? Dark. Understood? Just like Himan background. Such a nice background. Okay. So it will be what? Cancels each other. It means this is what? Destructive wavefront. Understood about constructive and destructive wavefronts, coherent and incoherent source. Any doubt? Ask me. Srijit, this is totally new for you. Though this is new for Vidyam also. Srijit, do you have any doubt? Still he is in.
No, ma'am.
Now come to here. I am giving you area. Sorry. What do you mean by this word? Reflection and refraction. Who will tell me? Reflection and refraction.
When a light ray is passive, hits a source and gets diverted back, then it is reflection. And refraction when it passes through the medium.
The
Refraction is when it passes through it, the surface kept in.
hands off answer. Okay, fine. Srijit, what's about you? Because Himam doesn't
Yes,
study.
ma'am.
Tell me, what is refraction and reflection? This thing you have studied.
Reflection is bouncing back of light,
Okay. And refraction?
and refraction is separation of light, like when light gets splitted or change in direction.
First, you understand this concept, refraction and reflection. Then we will go into this.
But reflection and reflection, when light bounces, it doesn't bounce directly back to you, right? It goes in opposite direction, different direction. It depends, yeah.
Say it again. Refraction.
When in reflection, depending on the angle of the light that is coming through, it will bounce in that same direction, but in opposite side. Like it will, for example, if you throw it, like throw a ball towards the wall, right? It will come back to us. But then if you throw it at an angle, it will reflect and it will go down. Like for example, if you throw the ball from top at an angle to the wall, it'll hit the wall and come back down.
Little bit correct, but not total. See, reflection means just like we can see on the wall of Himang. So much of light is reflecting because that wall is what made up of ceramica, and ceramica has a plastic coating. So because of that reason, the light, all the lights are reflecting back. Okay, that's a polished, that is a what? Ceramica is what? Polished well. Okay, but slit wall, that wall, we can see the cylindrical wavefronts, but light is not totally bouncing back. Wall is little bit absorbing that light and then it reflects back. So that because of that reason, we can see the images around us. If light will absorb everything, yeah, sorry, not light. Wall will absorb light, everything. Each and every single bit of wave, if wall will absorb, then we can't able to see the other part of the image that is far away from the wall. Right, because all the from the source, wall is absorbing each and every light. But between the source and the wall, if some objects are placed, we can see only that object. If light is absorbed totally by the wall, we can't see other side of the images. Correct. So reflection means that if any of the polished surface, there are two laws of reflection. I have already taught you about the normal. What is normal? Who will tell me? Normal. This thing I have taught you. Where? In Coulomb's law, first chapter, flux. Normal.
Normal is a line that's perpendicular to the surface.
Correct. Normal is a line which is perpendicular to the surface. Okay. Now, if any of the incident ray, suppose this incident ray is coming with the normal, if suppose this is the same angle, the reflected light will be there. What I said? The angle between my normal with the incident ray should be equal to the angle from the reflected ray with the normal. Perpendicular distance, normal is what? My perpendicular distance. The ray which is striking to the surface, this surface should be what? Polished surface. Just like Himal's polished ceramica that we can see. Okay. The whatever the light which is reflecting, which is incident on this polished surface with the normal, if suppose this is making a 45-degree angle, the angle of reflection should also to be of 45 degree. The angle should be equal. There are two laws of reflection that you should have to know. First law is what? Incident ray, normal, and the reflected ray. All rays should be lie on the same phase. That these things we have studied in class 10 as well as in class 8 also. Okay. Second law. Angle of incidence should be equal to angle of reflection. If this condition applied, then we will say that this is what a reflection. That's the body is what? Reflecting the light. Write it down in your notebook because these things are not written in your notes. Our meeting is going to be over, so please retry.